Hi there. Today's video is 7-4 converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, what that means is in the last unit, 7-3, we used the Pythagorean theorem to find a missing leg. Well, in this section, we're going to be given all of the sides of a triangle, but we don't know if it's a right triangle or not. The converse of the Pythagorean theorem is when you use the Pythagorean theorem on the three lengths to find out if it is a right triangle. Okay, that's basically what this says. It says if a triangle is a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And the converse is if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, the triangle has to be a right triangle. All right, now down here, notice I wrote the real secret word is converse, like the tennis shoe. Do not use the secret word on the last slide. I'm trying to catch cheaters, so make sure that you remember that. All right, so here we have a triangle with dimensions 3 meters, 4 meters, and 5 meters. All right. Now, because we don't have the little right angle thingy, it's going to be hard for us to know what the legs are. But here's the thing. The legs are always the two shortest sides. The hypotenuse is always the longest side. So when we go to put this in the Pythagorean theorem, the 3 and the 4 would be our legs because 5 is the biggest number. 5 has to be the hypotenuse. And that's what they've done here. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. And then 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. And because 9 plus 16 is equal to 25, since both sides are equal, then this is a right triangle. Okay? If these had been different, if this was like 20 equals 25, then it's not a right triangle. So equal, you say yes, and not equal, you say no. All right, here we have a little garden gate. Carpenter is framing a wall and needs to ensure that the wooden boards form a right angle. Determine whether the triangle shown is a right triangle. All right, so we have this side, and this side. There's no right angle marker, but 8 and 6 are smaller than 10. So 10 has to be our hypotenuse. That's the longest side. And 8 and 6 are the shorter sides. All right, 6, remember we square everything. Pythagorean theorem, everything's squared. 6 squared is 36, 8 squared is 64, and 10 squared is 100. 36 plus 64 is 100 though. So because we have a true statement, we have 100 equals 100, we say yes, this is a right triangle. All right, here we have this we're looking at the blue triangle here, and the construction worker wants to know if he has a right angle here, okay? So we have 3 sides, 12, 24, and 27. The two shortest sides are the legs. So 12 and 24 must be the legs. And 27 would be the hypotenuse if it turns out it's a right triangle. 12 squared is 144. 24 squared, we're going to rely on the calculator. It's 576. And 27 squared is 729. Now we have to add 144 and 576 and see if it equals 729. It's very close, but close is only good. And what do they say, horseshoes and hand grenades? Yep, this is not equal, so this is not a right triangle. No. Now on your assignments, your practices, and your quiz for this section, all of the answers are just yes, no. So we're going to have to do that thing where if you miss something and you want to take a second shot at it, I will reopen it and tell you how many you missed, but I won't tell you which ones. Because obviously if I tell you which ones you missed, you just change whatever you put to the other answer. Too easy. Okay, here we have another example. Determine whether the triangle shown is a right triangle. We have 3 sides, 13, 20, and 25. 25 is the biggest number, so 25 would be the hypotenuse if it's a right triangle. And 13 and 20 would be over here, okay? Well, 13 squared is 169, 20 squared is 400, and 25 squared is 625. But when you add these two together, you only get 569, which is not equal to 625. Therefore, you put no, this is not a right triangle. I think you're going to like this section. You're going to have a chance to get some good grades here, finish off the year with a good grade, because this is really pretty easy. All right, again, we have 3 sides of a triangle. We want to know if we have a right triangle. These are the two shortest sides. So we have 63 squared plus 60 squared equals, and then the longest side, which would be the hypotenuse in the event this is a right triangle. 63 squared is 3969. And 60 squared is 3600. 87 squared, I got no idea. 87 squared is 7569. And if we add 3969 and 3600, we get 7569. Will you look at that? Wow, didn't see that coming. So yes, this is a right triangle. Doesn't look like one, but it is. Oh, and here we have our secret word is house. Yes, because this is the, they're making a house. See, house. There's the secret word. So I was thinking we'd use that. All right, well, that brings us to the end of our instructional video. I'm sure that you'll be excited and looking forward to the 7-4 practice problems video, which will be coming next. Make sure that you go over to McGraw-Hill and enter the secret word, and I'll see you around class.